thanks for tuning in. This is Thumper B. Thumpin', and welcome to Hamtown, 47th Peninsula Classic for the Virginia Championship Hare Scramble Series. This is round 7 of the 2023 season, held in Windsor, Virginia. First time at this location. It's called the Isle of Wight Heritage Park Fairgrounds. Pretty cool spot, great track, had a lot to offer. Fast, flowy single track, lots of super tight technical sections. Really made passing kind of hard in spots, but it was a great track. I'll talk more about it in a bit. So I'm not doing every race this season, so I figured I'd just let the pack go and kind of let the race come to me. I got a newborn at home, so I'm not trying to take away points from anybody who's really competing for a good spot in the class. This is C-Class 30 plus. I'm on a 2023 KTM XCF 350, so a bit of a tough course for a 4-stroke. That hydraulic clutch really kind of stiffened up quite a bit in spots when you're just clutching through those really tight sections. But overall, I had a great race. No arm pump. Again, I kind of let the race come to me, and I ended up performing pretty well. Official results have yet to come out, but I think I finished somewhere about mid-pack for our class. A lot of grass track here in the beginning. It really allowed everybody to thin out, which was great because once we got into the woods, again, they were pretty tight. So first time ever that this location's holding a race for VCHSS, and you can tell that the dirt is primo. Not only the dirt, but like the condition of the track too. This is a fresh course. The minis went out before us in the morning, and they kind of burned the track in a little bit. But beyond that, I think literally one person went through and for a time trial, so they could see how many laps we're gonna do. We ended up doing 4 laps, about a 6.5 mile course. Yeah, and you got people caught up. So you got little log jams here and there. You got people behind you barking, even though you got 4 or 5 people ahead of you. A lot of that. Yeah, excellent dirt, and I think because the course hasn't been burnt in over the years. There's a lot of other courses that we go to, and they reuse a lot of the same track sections, which is fine, but you're starting the race with already totally exposed routes and lots of braking bumps and acceleration bumps, and a lot of the trails already pretty much hard pack. This was just raw, fresh ground. Oh man, there was grip everywhere. And for how tight this is, the routes were basically a non-issue. Yeah, pretty tight, and a lot of traffic here in the first section. Hooting and hollering, fast people getting caught up behind slow people, but then, you got 3-4 people ahead of you. There's not really a lot of places to pull over and let people by, but then you got nice open sections like this. Little log hop. Someone makes a really great pass here. Yeah. Passing over the log hop, I dig it. See what I mean though? You get all bogged down in here. Not really anywhere to go. Not complaining, just saying. That was the nature of a few of the sections. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the super tight and technical, but this was a ton of fun. Again, I'm all about being challenged and getting better. So I did continue to slowly improve on those skills. Excellent course though. I can see this being a favorite. A lot of people were commenting how this was an old school proper Hare Scramble course, for the East Coast. Pine trees, deciduous trees. I suppose the only thing the course was really lacking was a lot of elevation change, but not too bad. A lot of these wooden bridges too. They did not have any of the chain link over them, but because it was pretty dry out, it was never really an issue. You just had to square up, then hit them. Little chicane, slow people down. So much fun. My brother made it out to this race too. We'll run into him again here soon. He's on a 2021 YZ250FX, great bike. And with the live engine start, which is not very traditional, normally we're dead engine. He got, well, he should have gotten a decent jump off the line, but he was still second to last. I had to wait for him to leave. Yeah, right here. Look at this dirt. It's so good. Now you do got some roots and some stumps and things that are you got to be aware of, and lots of actually like small thin trees too. Not quite big enough to really just mow over, so you still had to kind of dodge them a little bit. And the course was very well marked. They obviously took a lot of care to make sure that any hazards had the little black X on them. Any double arrow sections where you had to split the arrows, that was all really well marked. So this was one of the best marked courses I think that I've ever been on. One of the few spots through the trees where you could really grab just about any gear you wanted. Got a free handguard there. Yeah, just another example of the really tight stuff here. Bobbing and weaving. My bars are cut, I think, about 1.5 inches total. But I do have the wraparound handguards, so that kind of takes away a little bit. Yeah, with uncut bars and full wrap handguards, oh man, this would be a really frustrating course. Still the first lap, so still getting caught up a little bit here and there. But it honestly could have been a lot worse. C-Class, you get a whole mix of rider ability and total beginners. I was one of those a year and a half, 2 years ago. My first ever race, I was out there just clowning around. Didn't know what I was doing. All the way to some very talented riders. So, considering all that, these tight sections went pretty smooth. At least in my experience there. Yeah, I'm fumbling, bumbling, hitting trees, right, and there's someone who's a little faster than me right behind me. Just go, buddy. You could hear him say, "Come on, buddy, keep it together." I'm just gonna let you go. Yeah, and I think in total I only had maybe one, at most two little tip overs, if you could even call them that. And then I didn't even really stall the bike that much until about the fourth lap when fatigue was really setting in. That's when I finally kind of started having a few more stalls than I really like. I still got the stock, clutch and everything in here, stock clutch lever. And I really like that setup. beautiful through here. So this is early June, southeastern Virginia. Man, Virginia is truly a beautiful state. We are so lucky in this hare scrambling in this area. You get this flat, tight, pine tree type stuff with like sandy, thick soil, tons of grip, and then 2 weeks we could be on a mountain course, just hauling up and down hills. Really nice. There's my brother ahead of me. He must have had a little bit of a slip up because I was able to catch up to him here. He's normally a hair faster than me. I would say on a lap of about 30 minutes, he's going to average, you know, maybe a minute and a half faster than me, depending on the course and all that. Sometimes I can get ahead of him and pull away. I do that in this course for a little bit, but he ultimately catches back up and passes me and finishes ahead. That's kind of par for the course. One of these days I will beat you, and I'll make sure to make the best video I've ever made about that. But here he gets hung up. I had my opportunity, but because it was so tight, couldn't sneak around him. Oh well, we'll get him. So he's able to sneak past this dude. I get hung up for a second, which allows that person to end up between us here. And I think this rider, so this is lap 1 still. This rider right ahead of me, in between my brother and I, we had a great back and forth. I think even deep into like lap 3 and possibly into 4. We just kept finding each other on the course, if this is the person I'm thinking of. Little wheelie. The 350, man, it might be a little bit too much for me in the tight woods, but my goodness, I love just letting that thing bark out here in the open grass. Just tuck, lean forward, full throttle, and it still brings the front end up. 3rd gear, 4th gear. And I'm on a rear tire with like 30 hours on it. Adam's rocking a Dunlop, what is it? The MX like 33 rear with over 50 hours on it. He just likes living life on the edge. So here I'm catching up to him. He knows it's me finally, so he gives me the hand wave there. And he's barking back. So my bike's just got a little more horsepower, so I can just, and the open stuff I can pass him like that, just because of horsepower. Yeah, this was a nice course. Although I could see if this is a muddy course, oh my gosh, would it be painful. You would have some massive ruts and some huge pileups, even with it being a pretty flat course. Lap 2, feeling good. And I haven't had arm pumps since I think like last year sometime. Maybe at the beginning of last season. I'm kind of done with it. I think I know what the issue was. I was one of those people that went down a deep rabbit hole of research trying to figure out what causes arm pump, how to mitigate it. Is it a combination of things? Or is it, one thing, whatever. It likely is a combination of things, but I think by far the biggest factor is just simply riding beyond your means, which encompasses a lot of different things, right? Poor technique, because you're maybe pushing it too hard. Your technique and your skill can't keep up with how hard you're trying to push it. So like maintaining the attack position and all that, you're just not doing it. and you're kind of death gripping in the bars and stuff. So if you just ride within your means, you can still push it pretty hard, and you just won't get arm pump. At least, knock on wood, that's how it's gone for me the last 8-9 races. I have not had arm pump. At least it feels like that. It's been many races. Just don't get it anymore. This was a really cool little spot, right up on a little ridge, real fast through all these little saplings. Finally catch up to Joe Overstreet here. He's in my class, and normally he always smokes my butt in these tight courses. He's just a lot better at this stuff. But I was able to hang with him for a little bit. I think he did get the old arm pump monster. I saw a couple times he was like shaking out his forearms, trying to get the blood flow back. But he was riding really good through here. Joe's real consistent. Doesn't really make mistakes too much. And I'm editing a lot of this out, but I was behind him for a solid like 10 to 15 minutes or so, just cruising through here. And then I got my brother right on my butt still. But yeah, here you could really carry some speed. I'm sure the guys in the main were hauling through this part. Joe's on a Husqvarna 350 as well, so we essentially got the same bike, maybe some small changes. But yeah, he just had a weird little tip over. I didn't see what happened. Just had to dump it, but I think he just picked it up real quick and just tucked in behind both Adam and I. So I was able to sneak by right quick there. And there goes Adam. He just finally had enough. Found a spot and he bull rushed right by me. He said there were times where I was kind of pulling away on him. Most of the time he was just hanging with me. And then a few times where he felt like he really wanted to pass. So he saw a spot and he took it. Yeah, this track spent a lot of time in second gear, but I'd never spent more time in first gear than I have on this course. Obviously, I'm cutting out some of the extremely slow stuff where I'm really bobbing and weaving. I've got to make myself look faster than I really am. So yeah, this is where we kind of crack back open into that really fast straight shot with this slight dog leg right up here. And I know that Adam wants to pass the person ahead of him, because we could be going a lot faster through here. Yeah, this is actually pretty leisurely, especially being lap 2. Lap 1, you know, this is your first time seeing it. You don't know what's coming up. Big root, rock, tree branch, you know, hard turn or something like that. But lap 2, you know that section's fast. Yeah, so here Adam was able to sneak past that person while they were caught up for a second, but I didn't get there in time enough to follow suit. So now I have another person gapping us. And I think slowly but surely he kind of pulls away on me. And don't see my bro again till after the finish line. Yeah, real tight like a tiger. Yeah, you tip over and it's, I was lucky I had enough room right there to pass. Otherwise, you're just sitting and waiting. Super tight. is another really nice spot. Towards the end of lap 2, you had some really good dirt through here. Not a whole heck of a lot of roots. At least our first few laps. But it did tighten up in spots. They had a mandatory stall checkpoint set up there, so I'm just obeying the rules. No, I'm getting a lot better with my stalls here. They're all 100% rider error. I got a clutch, so yeah, there's that rider again. We meet up again here towards the end of lap 2. I think that's them still ahead of me there. As we go into this kind of series of corners. I'm trying to catch them this whole time too. But they are moving pretty good through here. It's the open grass track. That's always a prime spot to pass people. Couldn't quite catch them though before scoring. Or after. I thought they were pulling off to let me by or something right before scoring, but they're just going to take a wide turn on entry there. It's lap 3, here we go! That was Brittany at the start there, rooting people on. I'm trying to catch him, Little wheelie. For the fans? No, I'm just kidding. I'm pretty terrible at wheelies. Last chance to get them before the woods. Can't quite do it. But not too deep into here. They do have a little slip up. Yeah, right here, like they get caught on a sapling. You know, sometimes you pass people and it's really cool. Like you actually used some skill and some forethought to plan out a pass, and you made a cool move. And you know, sometimes people get just hung up on a sapling and you just sneak right by. Those are the lamest. Just doesn't feel good passing someone when a sapling gets them. Unless it's your brother, you know, that's great. I love that. But they did get back ahead of me here. I think I had I got caught up on something and I had to like pull my front tire out or something like that. So they snuck by me. Or like I blew through a corner. Back in front. Oh yeah, here we go. Not sure what happened there. I think my front tire just kind of washed out. So I'm hanging people up there. So my buddy Nathan goes by on the Yamaha. He's in the class behind me. He said that's when, I didn't notice it at the time, but he said that's when he got the pass in on me. We're fairly evenly paced. He's a little bit quicker over the course of a race. No dust either, too. It's been pretty dry here the last several days, and like this wasn't dusty at all. Yeah, that person was hauling through here. That was so cool. I think that was like Mach 2.3 or so that they came in on there. But so I see a fast person coming by. I'm like, all right, I'll try and hang with you. I couldn't. They just kept getting farther and farther away. Yeah, and then I do this up here. Stalling in the grass track. I'm just trying to keep it C-class, you know. Yeah, lap 4, feeling great. I did not expect to be feeling this good towards the end of the race. I really, in my previous race was kind of a, oh yeah, the guy had a nice floral shirt on. It was so cool, button down. Yeah, my previous race wasn't as great. So I didn't really know what to expect here, and I just kind of let the race come to me and ended up having a really good one. Oh, I conquered the hill that time. Yeah, my front tire just missed cutting in on the inside of that tree. I don't know what I was doing there. I just chose a really silly line for some reason. But even on the fourth lap, still getting some traffic in these woods. Normally you're spread out so far. And finish strong, finish strong. Just something about being in an open field, send and roost. Got 4 laps in. That was great. Great race. Looking forward to the next one. All right, thanks for watching, everybody.